I've learned something powerful since I started speaking out on social media. Not just about Tanzania, but about fear, corruption, and how deep this system really runs. When I post what I witnessed, some people don't argue facts. They attack me. On a Tanzanian Reddit group, people replied saying I'm rich, that I'm idiotic for comparing President Maduro to President Samia, because Venezuela has oil and Tanzania doesn't. That's not intelligence. That's deliberate blindness. Because oil or no oil, the truth is simple. Both leaders, both parties. Same outcome. Corruption, greed, fixed elections, and civilians beaten and killed for protesting stolen votes. Others accused me of doing this for money. One even suggested I was exposing things, be careful, keep my family safe. A threat, thinly veiled, but understood. Another said I shouldn't speak at all because I'm not Tanzanian diaspora. Another said I was posting foolishness. Then a colleague in the US sent me a WhatsApp voice note. You're doing too much exposure, especially if you plan to go back to Tanzania. My response is simple. I will speak with no fear. Because what I experienced on the night I left Tanzania on December 16th shows exactly why this corruption survives. At the airport, an immigration officer stood up from his desk, handed me an envelope, and told me quietly, "Be careful of the cameras." Then he demanded $400 US. The alternative? A fake government charge of $600 US for supposedly overstaying my visa. That was a lie. I had exited through Kenya before my visa expired, returned legally, paid the required $100 US as a US passport holder, and my visa was valid until January 2026. Still, he threatened me. He said if I didn't pay, he would lock me in a room, force me to call someone, and make sure I missed my flight to Frankfurt and back to the United States, a flight worth far more than the money he was extorting. There were only 2 immigration officers on duty, empty desks between them, meaning the other officer could see or hear everything. This wasn't a mistake. This was a system. I paid the money because I was exhausted, mentally and morally. $400 US, nearly 1 million Tanzanian shillings, likely more than that officer earns in a month. And people ask me why I wouldn't want to go back? Why would anyone want to return to a country where corruption greets you at the exit gate? Despite the intimidation, the threats, the insults, the response across my platforms has been overwhelming. Facebook, WhatsApp, 3 accounts, TikTok, 2 accounts, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, people understand. And the reason I show my face, the reason I use my real name, is not for clicks, not for money. It's for those who were beaten, for those who were killed, for those buried in mass graves, for their families, for the many who have no voice, and for those who are too afraid to speak under a corrupt and wicked regime. Silence is how this system survives, and I refuse to be silent. That is another reason why I wrote 98%. It is an eyewitness account of what happened before and after the October 29th election. A record of how far a government will go to cling to power while enriching family members and close associates. I personally witnessed a fixed election in Dar es Salaam, a nationwide internet blackout, and the violent suppression of protest, including killings and mass burials designed to erase the truth. My name is Ricardo Jarvis. I am a U.S. Air Force veteran, a former college professor, a certified business and IT consultant with over 20 years of experience, and a graduate of Troy University in Alabama. But above all, I am a witness. And no government, no matter how powerful, can muzzle the truth. 98% is available on Amazon and over 20 major online bookstores, including Apple Books. The world deserves to know.